Even just touching base on the different types of self-care. I think last week was physical self-care, and we had done emotional and sensory. So today is about spiritual self-care. And, some people might avoid that particular kind of topic because of whatever their beliefs are. But it isn't a religious focus. It's about finding a connection to your higher self, about being the best person that you can be. It can be very spiritual. It can be based in your own spiritual practices, your own religion that you might practice. So it can be practiced through prayer. It can be enhanced. Meditation is another form of connecting to the divine. Practicing yoga is a great way to nurture your spiritual side. The actual definition, one of them for yoga, is a holistic approach to well-being that promotes physical health, emotional stability, as well as spiritual growth. So it seeks to unite the mind, the body, as well as the spirit. Journaling is a great way to connect and to practice self-care. Spending time in nature and really appreciating the miracles all around us. Volunteering, finding a purpose, helping others in any way. Reading religious texts or having group discussions about philosophy. Those are all ways to just nurture your spiritual side. So let's get started. And we'll keep that focus of connection to a higher self, a higher energy, a higher purpose, perhaps through the practice. The connection of mind, body, and spirit through the practice of yoga. So let's get settled with our feet flat on the ground, knees over the ankles. Roll your shoulders up and back, settle them down away from your ears. Nestle yourself into your chair. Close your eyes if you're comfortable with closing your eyes. And begin to breathe with awareness, as always, connecting the mind and the physical body through resting awareness on the breath. So strengthening that connection through mindful breathing. Notice as you breathe in and out through the nose, if that's comfortable for you today, in through the nose, out through the mouth, if that's a better option. Just notice how the body responds to this breath. So notice the quality of the air as it moves in to the nose, through the nostrils and down the throat. It might feel cool or warm. It could be moist or dry, sticky, smooth. And then you might move your awareness to the body and how it responds to the breath. An expansion of the ribs perhaps, or a gentle expansion of the belly. And a gentle retreat back towards the spine as you breathe out. You might notice a settling, kind of an arrival here. Breathing with awareness allows us to move ourselves away from all those distractions that incessantly run around our brains, and it allows us to stay connected to the present moment. So as we practice today, I invite you to notice if your mind drifts, if you start moving out into the day before we're done, just give yourself a gentle little reminder to come back through the awareness of breath. So take 3 nice, full, slow breaths. Layering on ujjayi, if that is your practice, restricting the back of your throat and really feeling that resonation in the throat and in the chest. And after your third exhale, excuse me, open your eyes and bring your hands down by your side. Sit nice and tall, maybe roll the shoulders, get settled in your seated mountain, draw your navel in. And we'll do 4 rounds of seated sun breaths. So inhale, the arms out wide, bring them up overhead and press the palms together. As you exhale, turn the palms outward and float the arms back down by your sides. Draw the navel in. Release the breath. Inhale, fill up all the way to the very top. Keep breathing in, feel the expansion through the ribs. And as you exhale, let it all out. Draw the navel in. And 2 more. Inhale. And let it out. And once again, last one. Inhale. And out. Keep the right arm down. Float the left arm out to the side and over, and we will flow. So inhale, the arms up overhead. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, over to the right. Moving with your own breath at your own pace. So we'll all be a little different, perhaps. Staying connected to that breath. Maybe bringing a little sense of wonder to the beautiful rhythm of the breath and the beautiful ability of the body to move to that rhythm. Next time both arms are up overhead, pause. Bring your palms together and your thumbs to your sternum. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, rotate yourself slightly to the right. And then bring yourself back to center. On your next exhale, another little twist to the right. And then bring yourself back to center. This time, as you exhale and rotate, just go to the degree that you can. So the edge of your twist, without forcing past restrictions. Take your left hand to your right thigh and your right hand to the side or behind you. Maintain a nice tall spine. Draw the shoulder blade, the right one, in towards your spine as you lift the sternum to the ceiling. Begin to turn the head forward and back. Just kind of let it nod and float. The next time you're turned towards the back shoulder, pause. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, nod your chin and relax your shoulders. Take 2 big breaths. Fill up and empty completely. You can sigh out through your mouth if that feels good. Bring your chin back to neutral and turn it towards the front. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, nod and relax. 2 breaths. On your next breath in, take your right hand up, sweep it over to your left thigh so your arms are crisscrossed. Opposite hand to opposite thigh. And just begin to do a couple of cat and cows. So as you inhale, the heart lifts, the gaze lifts. And as you exhale, the chin tucks in the background. Gentle little movements for now. Again, moving with your breath. Come to stillness, nice tall spine. And then unwrap your arms, bring your arms up overhead. Hands come down through the heart, right to the breastbone. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, a little bitty turn to the left. Bring it back to center on your inhale, and then another little turn to the left. When it's warming up, come back to center. And this next one, go as far as your body would like, without strain or force. Take the right hand to the left thigh, left hand where it's comfortable. Draw your left shoulder blade in, lift the sternum, and begin to float the head. Just letting it float, noticing any stopping points and honoring them. Might feel or hear some little crackling and popping. It's okay. No pain though. If you encounter pain, just pause. Look over the back shoulder or towards it And then take a nice breath in. As you exhale, nod your chin and relax your shoulders. And take 2 breaths, big breaths, full ones into the belly. And let go. In. Bring the chin back to neutral and let it float towards the front shoulder. Take a nice breath in, nod the chin on your exhale, relax the shoulders, and take 2 more big breaths. Bring the chin to neutral and take your left hand this time. Sweep it up and across. So now you are crossing. The left arm is on top this time. And just a couple of gentle little cat and cows. Come to stillness, nice tall spine. Sweep your arms up overhead. Press your palms together. Bring your hands to your hearts. And then open your arms wide. So keep your palms up, facing the ceiling. And we're going to just rotate our humerus bone, our upper arm bone, in its socket by paying attention to the thumbs, letting them kind of guide the way. So our thumbs are pressing back, our palms are up. So now palms come forward and the thumbs are up towards the ceiling. Now the palms are down and the thumbs are facing forward. Now the thumbs are down and the palms are facing behind us. Now if you can rotate any further here, that's fine without kind of squinching over, but don't force. And then just kind of roll forward and back. So we're just rolling the upper arm, the head of the humerus bone in the shoulder socket without forcing it at all. Just kind of lubricate. And some fluids to flow. Movement brings the flow of fluid in all sorts of ways. And in our joints, movement at the joint helps synovial fluid. The palms are up. We're going to tap our shoulders 10 times. Here is 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, itchy nose, 9 and 10. Keep the hands on your shoulders and draw circles with your elbows. So they can be little or big, but keep them slow, don't rush. Notice what direction you started and move them in the opposite direction. Continuing to work into the shoulders, but also getting a little bit into the upper body, the rhomboids around the shoulder blades, the top of the trapezius. When your elbows are out again, let them stay there, and we will bring our elbows up towards the ceiling and then down towards the floor. We're just up and down. I'm not counting. We're just doing. So go at your own pace. Keep the breath going. Next time you come through center, pause with your elbows out to the side. We're going to press the elbows back, open up the heart. And as we exhale, bring the elbows together, tuck the chin. We're just opening and closing. You might feel those shoulder blades separate as the elbows come forward, move together as the elbows press back. And the next time the elbows are facing forward, let them stay there and extend your arms. We'll tap our shoulders. So we're just going to tap and reach and tap and reach. I'm not counting today. Kind of a nice relief not to count. Just do. And if your arms get tired, stop. This is great for improving the strength in your back and in your upper arms. Next time your arms are reaching forward, let them stay there and cross the left arm over the right. Find eagle arms, whatever it is that works for you. And take that right leg up and over, squeeze your knees together. And tuck your chin. We are in eagle pose, seated eagle, squeezing our legs, pulling our arms apart. And we can fold into baby eagle. It is an option. So take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, fold forearms to thighs, elbows towards the navel, chin stays tucked. take a couple of big breaths into the back of your lungs. Feel the movement of your ribs in the back. Just kind of expand with the inhale. And relax with the exhale. And then as you're ready, bring yourself back up if you have folded and unwrap. And go to the other side. So right arm this time comes to the top. Find eagle arms that work on this side. Could be different than the other side. Take that left leg up and cross it over. Squeeze the legs together. Pull the arms apart and tuck the chin. Stay upright or fold, your choice. And breathe, not a choice. We must breathe. And see if you can bring real deep breaths into the back of the lung. And then come back up. Unwrap your legs and your arms, shake it all out, and prepare for working into the abdominal muscles. So we want to engage them first. Take this little headlight, these little hip points here, and imagine that they're squeezing themselves towards each other, and you'll feel this transverse abdominis muscle kind of engage. Draw the low ribs in and up and lift the pelvic floor. And as we do this, opposite knee to opposite elbow, try to stay vertical, try to stay engaged. I will count on these. We're doing opposite knee and elbow. So we're going to 10. Here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8 and 9, last 1. Next, we externally rotate. So we externally rotate the leg, lift it, and just reach to tap the toes. So here we go, opposite foot and hand. So here is 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8 and 9. Last 1. Feet are flat on the ground and the arms are by your side. We're going to extend opposite leg, opposite arm. Leg stays straight and the foot is flexed, and the arm just comes to shoulder height, reaching, but not pulling the humerus out of its socket. So the arm is reaching, but the head of the bone is still in the socket. So here we go. Here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 9, last 1, 8. And then bring your feet as wide as the legs of your chair. We're going to circle our upper body over our lower body here. Just beginning to work into the hips. So these circles can be whatever feels good. They can be great big circles, bringing opposite shoulder to opposite knee. They can be shallow little circles, itty bitty little round circles. So you be the controller, if you will, of this pattern, whatever feels good for you. Notice what direction you're moving in so that you can reverse direction. Always keeping that core engaged, keeping that navel drawn in. Eventually coming to a nice upright position. Bring your feet a little closer together. Knees are over the ankles, and take your right leg up and draw circles with your knee. And reverse that direction. And hug the leg in. And move that ankle around. Clickety clack. Point and flex. And then bring that ankle onto your left thigh. Just take a breath or two to see what's going on in your right hip. Take a couple of breaths in an upright position just to release any tightness. So every exhale, just purposefully try to soften any restriction. And then if you would like to take a little exploration leaning forward, go ahead and do that. Continuing to use the breath to release tight muscles. Bring yourself back up and take that foot out in front of you. Flex it and bring the heel to the ground. And then glide towards your toes, softening your knee and just breathing into the back of the leg, calf, and hamstring. A little bit of a stretch here. And then come all the way back up. We'll move to the other side. So the left leg comes up and we circle. And reverse. And hug. And rotates and point and flex. Wiggling, squiggling that foot. And then keeping the foot flexed, take the ankle onto the thigh. And again, just take a breath or two to assess the hip. How tight or not tight is it today? But breathe into any tight spaces you might discover before you lean, if you lean. And as you feel ready, bring that torso forward towards your shin. And then breathe into the new spaces you might encounter in this lean. Come back up and extend that leg. Flex the foot, bring the heel to the ground. Micro bend in the knee, glide towards the toes. And come back up. And we will do 5 rounds of sun salutation. So find seated mountain, navel is engaged, arms down by your sides. Inhale the arms up overhead and exhale into cactus. Inhale, lean, and exhale, glide all the way down. Inhale, find length, arms lengthen, shoulders draw back, heart reaches forward, as does the crown of the head. As you exhale, fold. Inhaling, sweep your arms wide, bring yourself all the way up. Palms pressed together and come through heart to mountain again. 2 more plain ones. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lean, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, energize those legs, squeeze the imaginary block I always talk about. So helpful in energizing the legs. Inhale, the arms up overhead and exhale into cactus. Inhale, lean, and exhale, fold. Inhale, find length, exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep wide, and up, and back to mountain. We will add the twists. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lean, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, left hand down, right arm out to the side as you rotate ribs and shoulders. Bring it back down and switch sides, rotate to the left. And bring it back, exhale, fold. And inhale, rise back up. Press your palms together, come all the way back to mountain. We'll do the last one. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale and glide.
Inhale to a long spine. Exhale, hand down, right arm out to the side. Take that rotation. Bring it down, switch sides, and rotate to the left. Bring it back and fold, and then rise up. All the way up, press palms together, hands to the heart and pause. So our pause to notice any warming of the body, any difference in the flow of energy, or perhaps fluid when we move as we have done. We encourage synovial fluid, lymph, blood, spinal fluid. So there's some fluid floating around in our bodies activated by all this movement. So we are going to now do our 20 stand up, sit down. So prepare your feet, your body for that. Cross your arms, alternate hand to opposite shoulder, and we'll begin. So here is 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Bottom arm to the top for 11 and 12, 13 and 14 and 15 and 16 and 17, 18, 19, and the last one, 20. Have a seat. Take a big breath in and sigh out. And stand up. We will get into our joints now, just getting some more synovial fluid flowing in other joints that we haven't moved quite as much yet. So bring the chair off to the side, in front of you, wherever you're comfortable, and then find a mountain pose. You can rock, or sway, or circle, or all of those three. Eventually finding that place where the weight of the body feels beautifully balanced over the balls and heels of your feet. Lift your toes and spread them. And just lay them down gently on the mat. Roll your shoulders up and back. Let your arms hang gently, freely relaxed down by your side. Lift your sternum. Draw your navel in. And let your tailbone feel heavy. Eyes open or closed. Just notice the stability of a well stacked frame. Joints all lining up on top of each other as they're designed. And then open your eyes and bring your weight into your right leg. Step onto the toes of the left foot, pointing the toes back if you can, and then roll over your toes. It's kind of like lassoing your leg. The circles go through the foot, into the ankle, up to the knee and into the hip. Reverse direction. And then bring that foot down. Move to the other side. So the right foot steps back now and we roll over the toes. And let that lasso effect just kind of move up the leg. And then reverse. And then bring that foot down. The big toes come together and the heels stay apart as the knees come together and the hands rest above them. Circle your knees in whatever direction you started. And notice what direction that is, and so you can reverse. And then pause. Walk your hands up your legs. Separate your feet. Keep your knees nice and relaxed and soft. And circle your hips. A nice little hula hooping. Notice what direction you started this and reverse it. And then pause, but keep your legs as they are. Keep your knees soft, shake out your arms. And just begin some standing waterfalls, rotating the upper body, letting the arms follow. Just kind of float across the front and back body. Keep the breath going, nice full breaths, maybe even a couple of sighs. Eventually coming to stillness, so let everything settle. And then step your feet further apart and turn your toes further out. We're going to be coming into goddess. Bring your hands overhead, press your palms together. So as we sink, we want to track our knees over our toes rather than let them collapse inward. And we want to come straight down rather than folding forward. So just a little reminder here. So here we go. Here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we'll hold on the 5th for 5 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1. Bring it back up, step your feet together. Relax your arms down. And take your left foot, cross it over your right. Bring your arms up overhead, let your right hand grab your left wrist, and take a little lean over to the right. Relax your shoulders, continue to breathe. Breathe into that left side, nice stretch, this crescent shape. It's opening up the whole left side of your body here. And then uncross your feet, bring the feet parallel to one another. Bring your hands to your shoulders, elbows straight out to the sides. We're going to take a rotation to the right through the ribs and shoulders. Hips stay where they are. Nice breath in, and as you exhale, rotate to the right. Now, keeping our hips straight ahead is going to restrict our rotation. If we move our hips, we can go far. But we're really just working to strengthen these muscles as we rotate the upper body in contrast to the lower body. And then come back to center and relax your arms. And take your right leg across your left. Bring your arms overhead and let your left hand grab your right wrist this time and take a lean over to the left. Relaxing the shoulders and breathing into the right side. And then uncross your feet. And bring your hands back to your shoulders. Take a nice breath in this time. We will twist to the left. So just rotate ribs and shoulders. Take a couple of breaths here as you hold. And then come back to center. And relax the shoulders. Shake out the legs perhaps. So we are going to do what we did in the chair, but we're going to do it standing in terms of working our core and also working a little dynamic balance, because we are going to bring our knee up and bring our elbow towards it. I am going to count this one. So if getting your elbow to your knee just isn't going to happen, just bring your arm forward and across your leg. Okay, so here we go. Here is 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8 and 9. Last one. Fabulous. All right. So now we will be still in our balance as we move into our tree. So bring the weight into the right side. Come onto the toes of the left foot
And rotate that knee out to the degree that's comfortable for you. Toes can stay down, foot can come up your shin or above your knee. Hands at your heart or overhead. I am watching the clock. So find a drishti, a point of focus, and find your breath. And then turn that knee forward and step yourself out of your tree. And bring yourself to the other side. So we'll be standing on the left, toes of the right, and a rotation of that right knee, hands at your heart, toes to the ground or foot somewhere along your shin. Hands can come overhead if you like. They can stay at your heart, stay at your hips, wherever you're comfortable, wherever they help your balance. And then turn that knee forward and step out of your tree. Well done. And turn your chair around. We'll do a brief little vinyasa today. So we'll do 2 simple sun salutations before we move to the chair. So find mountain pose. Inhale your arms up overhead, press your palms together. As you exhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins or thighs as you draw your shoulders back and reach your heart forward. And as you exhale, bow back down. Inhale, generous bend in the knees as you sweep the arms wide and bring them up overhead. Press the palms together. And then glide them through heart center and back by your sides. We'll do 1 more of those. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, long spine. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, back to mountain. We'll add the chair this time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, long spine. And as you exhale, hands come to the chair, find plank. So you're on the balls of your feet, your shoulders are over your wrists, and your hips are in line with your shoulders. So you're not dipping or poking. You're a nice straight plank. You can stay in plank, or if you like, come forward onto your toes, thread your heart between your arms, lift your gaze, and then come back into down dog. We'll do 2 more of those. So inhaling forward to plank, choosing to stay in plank or thread through to up dog. And then send your hips back to down dog. 1 more. As you inhale, come forward into plank. Stay or thread. And exhale back to down dog and pedal it out once you get there. So bend 1 knee and the other, just kind of wagging the tail here. Nice big breaths, nice length from the crown of the head to your tailbone. Come onto the balls of your feet and then settle your heels down. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Reach your sitting bones back. On an inhale, step your left foot forward and spin your right heel in. And then bring your arms up overhead to warrior 1. Settle in here, sensing where the weight of your body is. Trying to balance it between the front and the back leg. On an inhale, come to cactus arms. And on an exhale, bring your forearms together. Inhale, open it up.
And exhale together. Inhale, open. And exhale, bring it together. Inhale the arms overhead. And exhale, thumbs to sternum. A nice breath in to lengthen off the waist. And as you exhale, rotate to the left. Again, just as we did standing with our hands on our shoulders, this isn't a big twist. You're twisting ribs and shoulders, working these muscles that wrap your ribs. You can stay here with your thumbs at your heart or open, nice and wide. You can stay here or flip. Take your left hand down your back leg and your right arm up towards the ceiling. Arm faces behind you. Nice opening again through the right side. Bring your arms nice and wide and then sweep them up overhead. As you exhale, sweep the arms back, bring the heart forward. And as you inhale, sweep up. Exhale, sweep back. And inhale, sweep up. And the last one, sweep it back on the exhale. And sweep it up. Exhale, the hands come to the chair, step it back to plank. Stay in plank or thread it through to up dog. Exhale, send the hips back to down dog. Inhale, the right foot steps forward and the left heel spins in. Bending into that front leg, bring your arms up overhead. Excuse me. So in here. On an inhale, come to cactus arms. On an exhale, forearms together. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Inhale, arms overhead, palms together. Exhale, thumbs to the sternum. Nice breath in, lift off the waist. And as you exhale, rotate to the right. Stay with your hands right here at your heart or open your arms wide. Stay with your arms wide or flip. Right arm down, left arm up. Come back to that west side stretch. And then sweep both arms up. Exhale, arms sweep back, heart forward. And inhale back up. Exhale, sweep back. And inhale. Exhale back. Inhale, sweep high. Exhale, hands to the chair, step it back to plank. Stay in plank or thread it through to up dog. On your exhale, send your hips back to down dog and pedal it out. Eventually coming to the balls of the feet, heels lift, and then they come back to the ground. Bend your knees generously and walk your hands back towards your legs. So we're hanging in ragdoll. Your arms can dangle in ragdoll if you like. You can hold ups and elbows. Swaying is nice if you like, or nodding and shaking the head. Take a big breath in through your nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Then releasing any bind you might have. Bend your knees generously and sweep your arms out to the side. Rise all the way up. Press your palms together. Bring your thumbs to your sternum. Once again, notice the effects of these postures and movements and flows. And then open your eyes. And we will work our way down to the mat. So move your chair off your mat and find mountain pose at the top of your mat. And once you have found it, inhale your arms up overhead. Press your palms together as you exhale, bow forward. Inhale, find length. As you exhale, bring your hands to your mat. Step one foot back, lower the knee, bring the other one back, and find your way to tabletop. So your knees are under your hips and your wrists are under your shoulders. Hands can be fisted as always if that's better for your wrists. If your hands are flat, spread your fingers nice and wide. Move into a few rounds of cat and cow. So on the inhale, the tailbone lifts, the heart lifts, as does the gaze. And as you exhale, the tailbone turns down and forward, and the shoulder blades press up as the crown of the head turns down. So these can be really slow and fluid. They can be deep or shallow, moving that spinal fluid up and down your beautiful spine. Pumping up your discs, really helping in range of motion. Eventually coming to stillness. Bring your weight into your left hand and sweep on an inhale your right arm up. Open your heart up to the right. And on an exhale, sweep your arm under and through, right? Flow here. So inhale, we're coming back up. And exhale, we're threading through. And inhale, we're opening up. And on this third one, we're threading all the way through, maybe bringing our shoulder down to the mat and the side of our head as well. Left hand reaches up towards the top of the mat if that's comfortable. And breathe. Some people like to take their left hand and wrap it around, kind of opening up a little bit more into a twist in this posture. That's an option if you like. And then take that left hand right in front of your face. Press into that hand, rise up. Take that right arm up to the sky and then back down to the mat. 2 rounds of cat and cow. And then a neutral tabletop. The weight comes into the right hand now as we sweep the left arm up, open up to the left. And as we exhale, thread it through. Inhale, open up. And exhale, thread it through. Inhale, open. And on this third round, once again, bringing the shoulder down, reaching the hands to the right, palm up. Maybe taking that right hand up to the top of the mat or wrapping it around behind you. Nice stretch into the shoulder and a little bit of a twist here. And then take that right hand back in front of your face, press into that hand, sweep your left arm up to the sky, open up, and then bring that left hand down to the mat. 2 rounds of cat and cow. And then find room on your mat for some kneeling sun salutation. So I like to back myself up a little bit here. And find kneeling mountain. So your knees are now your feet. There's a nice tall spine. Inhale your arms up overhead. And exhale hips to heels as the hands and the forehead come to the mat into child's pose. Inhale, come forward to table. And as you exhale, curl your toes under and send your hips up and back. So you are in down dog. So you're pushing the mat away with your hands as if you're trying to lengthen it. And your torso is pushing back towards your thighs. Inhale your knees back down to the mat. And exhale, sink back into child. Keeping your arms reaching overhead. Bring yourself all the way back up. And exhale your arms back down by your side. So that was 1, 2 more rounds. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale into child. Hips to heels, hands and forehead to the mat. Inhale, draw yourself up to tabletop. And exhale, curl your toes under, send your hips up and back, find down dog. Inhale your knees back down. And exhale into child. Inhale, rise up, arms reach overhead as you do. And then a little back bend if that would feel good. Bring your arms back down by your sides. Last round, inhale, the arms reach overhead. And exhale, find child. Inhale to table. And exhale to down dog. Inhale into table. Exhale back to child. Inhale, rise it up all the way. And then back to mountain. Nice. Bring your hands onto your low back. Roll your shoulders up and back. Draw your shoulder blades together. So your hands are pointing down and the palms are just resting on the sacral, I guess, table here. Pressing down here. Bring your elbows towards each other. Lift your heart. Press your thighs into an imaginary wall. And we're coming into a modified camel. So it's a back bend as well as a heart opener here. You can step your head back. Don't throw your chin back up to the ceiling. Just kind of step your head back as you press your thighs forward. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, just fold into embryo pose. So your knees stay close together, your forehead comes down, your hands come down by your feet. So you're in a little rock or embryo pose. Couple of breaths here. And then come back into table. And find your way to seated posture, Dandasana or staff pose. So spin yourself around, extend your legs long. Flex your feet. Turn your headlights down. Roll your shoulders up and back, bring your hands by your hips. And again, your shoulder blades draw together, as do your elbows. So we're working the muscles in our back here as well as our core muscles that help us to keep this nice straight spine. Couple of breaths here as we work those muscles. And then release your hands from the ground if they're resting there. Bring them out as if you're holding a tray, and we're going to lower. I'm going to scooch forward just a wee bit so I have room. So we'll lower to the count of 10, but be sure to help yourself down another way if that's better for you and your body today. So here we go for 10, 9, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Get a nice full body stretch once you get there. Oh, beautiful reach of the fingers, reach of the toes, arch in the low back as you breathe in, and as you exhale, bring your knees in for a squeeze. Then on an inhale, lengthen out again. So we're using our core here, straightening the legs and arms. On the inhale, exhale, bring your knees in, give yourself a squeeze. One more on an inhale, we're going to extend, get really, really long, feet to the bottom of the mat, arms overhead. And then get long on either side. So reach with the left toes, left fingers, and then the right toes, right finger. Just alternating this stretch on either side of your body. And then both arms, both sets of feet, both feet, the whole set of feet. As you inhale and then bring your knees into your chest for that beautiful squeeze. Rock a little bit once you get there. A little toss of the knees from side to side, or circling of the knees on the ceiling if that feels good. Eventually coming to stillness, knees close into the chest. And your arms out like wings. We're going to take a double leg twist to the left. So take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, let the knees fall to the left. Stacking knees and hips and ankles. And allowing the shoulders to stay connected to the mat if possible. If your legs can't get to the floor here, you can put a little blanket or a block underneath it, just so you're not hanging in midair. Give yourself a break and land on something. And see what you can release here. So a quick little body scan to notice what might be holding on, kind of unwilling to release. See if you can talk them into releasing. And then as you're ready, engaging the core as always, bring yourself back to your back. Knees are still in towards your chest, and we'll take that rotation to the right. So take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, let the knees drop to the right this time, stacking the hips and the knees and the ankles. Again, offering yourself some prop if you need to, so that you can relax and release into this twist. You can let your gaze go out over the left fingertips if you like, or stay neutral towards the ceiling, or even look over the right side, wherever your neck wants to be. Doing that quick little check-in to see what's holding on, see if you can let it go. And on your next inhale, bring yourself back onto your back. Another squeeze. Squeeze in. And then bring your feet down to the mat. Now you can keep your feet close together here. You can bring them hip width distance. You can bring them mat width distance. Whatever works for you, because we're going to windshield wipe our knees from side to side. A little work for our hips here. So we're just going to let them fall to the left. Inhale back to center, let them fall to the right. And if you find that you need to adjust where your feet are, go ahead and do that. It's just a little rotation. Keep your core engaged though. Try to stay relaxed enough to just let the legs fall. The next time you're over to the left, stay there. And if you'd like, take your left foot onto your right thigh. Kind of deepen the stretch, especially through the hip flexor on the right side. You can even take your right arm up to the top right corner of the mat as you press down with your right knee towards the bottom left. And if your left foot is on your thigh, take it off. Bring your knees through center and let the knees fall to the right. Same thing here. It might feel good or not to take the right foot onto the left thigh. And if that's too much, then take that foot down. Left arm reaches to the top left corner of the mat. Left knee reaches to the bottom right corner of the mat. Beautiful elongation to the whole left side of your body here. And then as you're ready, bring yourself all the way back. Lift your hips and stack your hands underneath your tailbone and float your legs to the ceiling. We're in Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. If you have a wall to scooch over to, go ahead and do that. Put your butt as close to the wall as you can, scooch it over and swing your legs up. Let the wall support you. Otherwise, hands under the tailbone or a little blanket under the tailbone or even a block. As we allow the blood to flow effortlessly from our toes through our feet, legs, calves, knees, thighs. This brief little interlude where the heart doesn't have to pump so hard. Our calves don't have to pump so hard. Our calf is a pump that helps get the blood out of our legs. So this is just giving it a little reprieve. A wonderful soothing posture. So you might just take a nice breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Notice if your jaw is clenched or your shoulders are tense, and see if you can relax. And then as you're ready to find stillness, moving into the final posture of the practice, the most important one of all, Shavasana. A place of stillness. So maybe you stay right here. Or maybe you come into corpse pose. Legs extended, arms by your side. Maybe you come into reclined butterfly. If you have a blanket to put over you today, it might be really nice. It's really chilly on the floor here. But once you get to where you're going, take a big breath in through your nose. Big sigh out through your mouth. Oh. Allow the back of the body, all the touch points that touch the mat, the back of the head, perhaps the shoulders, elbows, backs of the hands, upper back, buttocks, calves, heels. See if you can allow them to release, relax into the mat. I have a reading in line with our spiritual self-care theme of the day. And it's a reading that I happen to love. It's just food for thought. It's by a yogi of old in the 70s, Ganga White. And it goes, what if our religion was each other? If our practice was our life? If prayer our words? What if the temple was the earth? If forests were our church? If holy waters were the rivers, lakes, and oceans? What if meditation was our relationships? If the teacher was life? If wisdom was self-knowledge? And if love was the center of our being? Take a nice, long, slow breath in. And a long, slow breath out. Allow movement in the body, perhaps a wiggle of fingers or toes, a circling of wrists or ankles, or a gentle movement of the head from side to side. And if it would feel good to take one last stretch, go ahead and reach your arms overhead, extend your feet long, take the deepest, fullest breath in. Of your day so far. Fill up, keep going, and sigh it out. Draw your knees under your chest for that final squeeze. That squeeze of love, self-love, compassion for self. Choose to roll to one side, left or right. Checking in with how you're feeling, how things might have shifted or changed since you started the practice today. Could be a mental shift or a physical shift or a little bit of both. Finding some small thing that you can take off your mat into your day. Perhaps it is the thought of spiritual self-care, not necessarily going to church, but finding a purpose, or finding a cause or some sense of your higher self. Church is okay. It doesn't have to be just that. Finding something that you can leave off your mat, something that doesn't serve you, so that you can go out feeling a little freer and lighter. And as you are ready to end your practice, find your way to a comfortable seat. And once you are seated, bring your hands to your heart. We bring our hands to our hearts, reminding us to fill our hearts with kindness and compassion, and to our lips, reminding us to speak words of kindness and compassion. To our third eye, reminding us to expand our thoughts, kindness, and compassion towards ourselves as well as others, and in honor of the light that shines in each one of us, the light that unites us all. We bow and say namaste. Thank you so much for being here today, for sharing your practice with me and my practice with you. I so love doing that.